Okay, Brazilian blowout versus keratin treatment. What's the difference and what are the pros and cons versus each of them? A Brazilian blowout is a smoothing treatment. Um, it is made of amino acid plant proteins, and basically, what it does is it will coat the hair to reduce frizz, reduce curl pattern, make your hair more manageable, and add like incredible shine. The molecules on the Brazilian blowout are larger than a keratin treatment. So it's not necessarily going into your hair shaft and penetrating the cuticle, it is coating the cuticle. So the downside to that is it doesn't last as long as a keratin treatment. But Brazilian blowout, there's no waiting period to wash your hair. So after the treatment is done that day, you can wash your hair the very next day. You're able to put your hair up in a ponytail. Um, it will be extremely smooth and straight the first day of the treatment. And then after you wash your hair, some of the volume and body will come back to your hair. The smoothing treatments versus keratin. Smoothing treatments are for people who basically don't want the waiting period. They don't necessarily want to lose as much of their natural curl pattern because with a smoothing treatment, you're usually going to lose about 40% of your natural curl pattern, but it's not going to fully straighten your hair. It will just improve manageability, soften it, make it shiny, and when you do straighten your hair, it's going to stay straight. It's going to fight against humidity and just overall it makes your hair softer, shinier, and just feel better. So the keratin treatments do have a 3-day waiting period. We use keratin complex here at Resalon and Med Spa, and there is a 72-hour waiting period of you where you cannot wet your hair, well, wet it, wash it, be in humidity, put it in a ponytail, put any clips in it. You have to leave it straight for 3 days. And if you get like a crinkle in it from sleeping, you need to straighten that out as soon as you get up for those 72 hours. Keratin complex does penetrate the cuticle. The molecules are much smaller as we naturally have keratin proteins in our hair, skin, and nails. It's a naturally occurring substance in the human body. So it will penetrate the cuticle, fill in any damage that you have, and also coat the hair. Keratin treatments will straighten the hair more than a smoothing treatment. So you'll get straighter results and longer lasting results. It will usually last anywhere from 3 to 5 months. Again, depending on your home care. If you're using the proper shampoos and conditioners, and you how often you wash your hair will determine the life of any smoothing treatment and keratin treatment. Every time you wash your hair, you're washing a little bit of it out. So if you're someone who shampoos their hair less, like maybe you're an every other day person or even a once a week person, your smoothing treatment or keratin treatment is going to last longer. You do need to make sure that you're using sulfate free shampoos, alcohol free shampoos. Those taking the care in the right products will also help your treatment last longer. A keratin treatment also will reduce your curl pattern, usually anywhere from 60 to 80% from your starting point, depending on your hair texture. Like if your hair is very coarse, you might be more on the 60% side versus somebody who has finer hair where it could straighten their hair up to like 80%, sometimes more, just depending on if their hair is damaged or not. If you do have previous chemicals on your hair, whether it's color or highlights, keratin treatments do tend to work better on previously chemically treated hair. And that's because your cuticle has already been opened and softened at one point in time. Um, One thing about keratin treatments, if you are a light blonde or you have highlights, you need to use the formula that is meant for highlighted and blonde hair. The regular keratin formula can sometimes turn blonde hair a little more yellow. And that's actually the keratin. When you heat it up, it does kind of leave a yellow cast, and you can see it on light hair. But really, one treatment isn't better than the other. It just depends on you, the client, your lifestyle, what your end goal is, and how often you want to come back for maintenance. Keratin Complex offers a few different options. There's a traditional keratin treatment, there's the express treatment, and then they have their blonde formula treatment. So there's different options for different hair textures and types. And yes, it can be done over very damaged hair. Brazilian blowout, smoothing treatment, again, great that you don't have to, wait 3 days. You can put your hair up right away. And again, it will leave you a little more body to your hair versus a very smooth, sleek finish. But both of them, when you blow dry your hair and straighten it, it's going to maintain that style and fight humidity until you go to wash your hair again. Even sometimes sweating won't even cause your hair to frizz up. So my daughter had a keratin treatment, very, very curly hair, and she played basketball. And all the girls on her team were like, "How is your hair staying so straight?" um, at, and it's because she had a keratin treatment in her hair. So, like, she would sweat and play basketball, and her hair would still stay smooth and straight. And that's just one of like the great plus sides to getting a keratin treatment or even a smoothing treatment. It really does help fight against humidity, and Lord knows here in North Carolina, we definitely have to deal with humid temperatures all summer long. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to DM us or call us. And definitely look into our smoothing treatments or keratin treatments. Thanks. Bye.